Dear students, online audience, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. This is Rizwan from the Department of English, Siligate. Since you are the readers of Higher National Diploma in English, as you all know, writing skills in English is one of the course modules prescribed under the course of Higher National Diploma in English. In this module, you are expected to discuss about the writing essentials. You are expected to discuss the writing essentials. Under this topic, the given learning outcomes have been set to achieve, right? To use the cohesion, unity of thoughts, relation between sentences in a paragraph and paragraphs in a longer text, to express the ideas with clarity and precision, organizing writing using a clear structure, content, layout, as well as handwriting. You are expected to pay attention on spelling, punctuation, grammar, and vocabulary in order to achieve the given learning outcome. Today's session has been set. Now let us discuss about what writing is. Basically, you have to understand the term writing refers to the process of using symbols. Writing is the process of using symbols. Symbols means letters of alphabet, punctuation, and spaces used during the development of writing. You know, what is the intention of using the symbols? To communicate thoughts and ideas in a readable form. Dear students, you might understand what writing is. In the development of writing, you must know the basic elements of writing. What are the basic elements of writing? Right? So here you could see spelling, vocabulary, grammar, as well as structure of the language. These are the basic elements of writing. Whenever you happen to write, you must have the thorough understanding of the given elements of writing. Spelling is one of the major elements in the development of writing. You might hear a word with the same pronunciation, but with the different spellings and giving the different meanings to each other. So, dear students, whenever you learn a word, you have to focus the attention on the spelling of each word, right? Now look at the sentence. Look at the sentence. I tell you, CCC. Now look at this example. CCC. You might hear there are 3 words. Can you tell me, one of you, what are those 3 words in the given sentence? CCC. Yes, any one of you? Yes, any one of you? C-S-H-E, C. Second one is C-S-E-E. And the third one is C-S-E-A. So, you know, though the sounds are similar, you may find the spelling of each word is different, right? It gives different meaning. So, my dear students, keep on the spelling. C, C, C. So, I can give you one more example. One said, he caught my court in this court. He caught my court in this court. In the given sentence, you might hear the terms court, court, court. There are 3 courts used in the given sentences. He caught, right? He caught. What's the spelling for court? C-A-U-G-H-T, caught. So that is a past form of catch. Catch, caught. He caught my court. My court. Court, C-O-A-T, court. In this court, the third one is, in this court, C-O-U-R-T, right? So you might know the different meaning given by the different spellings used within a sentence, within a word, right? So dear students, spelling is the main element to be considered in the development of writing, right? The second one is vocabulary. The second one is vocabulary. Right. As you know, spelling is one of the most important element of writing, right? And now you could understand with the given examples, right? And now let us move on to vocabulary, right? In case of academic writing, you have to use the right vocabulary at the right juncture. That is very, very important. The words you use with your relatives, with friends, with your lecturers in the academic background completely differ. You must know that, right? The right word should be used at the right juncture, right? So you have to develop your vocabulary on regular basis. On regular basis, you have to develop your vocabulary and find suitable vocabulary to suit in the context where you are deploying them in the development of writing. And the third one is grammar. So here, grammar, what is expected in the writing is error-free sentences. You have to produce error-free sentences. Since you are the L2 learners, since you learn English as a second language, right? Since you are the L2 learners, almost most of the L2 learners may have the problem of using the grammar of the target language. So that should be eliminated, right? In the development of writing. So sentences should be grammatically correct and it should give a sense to the sentence. It should give a sense The sentence should give a sense and it should have a complete thought, right? So, dear students, focus your attention on the third element to be prominent as well as structure. You have to identify the different text types. Accordingly, the structures to be changed. Language structures, paragraphing structures, right? The structures should be adaptable to the context of writing in an appropriate manner. So, dear passive listeners, so far now you have understood the elements of a writing. Spelling, from today onwards, you have to focus your attention on spelling, vocabulary, grammar, as well as structure. Right? Now let us discuss about the types of writing. The types of writing. When you just think of the types of writing, basically you have to understand about academic and research writing, business and professional writing, creative writing, as well as personal writing, Academic writing and research writing. Since you are reading HNDE, you have to work on academic writing. You have to follow the style of academic writing and research writing too. It means a range of formal writing, that primarily serves to present the results of true study and analysis. There where you have to use academic terms, academic vocabularies, right? In terms of the development of academic and research writing. And you have to know the second type is about business and professional writing. It's about the writing resumes, cover letters. You know, you may happen to use resumes as well as cover letters to get a job in the government sectors as well as in the private sectors. As well as you may have some business plans to start a new enterprise, or else you may write letters, you may write emails, as well as you may write reports during the workday. So all these writings can be categorized under the business and professional writing. And the third type is about the creative writing. Creative writing. You may have some experience throughout your schooling. From your schooling, you might have some experience of taking part in creative writing competitions. Sometimes you may have some practices in it, right? By the way, here, expressive writing. Creative writing means expressive writing in the form of fiction, like novels as well as short stories. You may study in the literature, introduction to literature in English. Under that course module, you may have some deep analysis on it. As well as creative non-fictions, like literary journalisms and personal essays, and poetry uses story and description to tackle big ideas and to tell important stories. So here, what is expected from this creative writing is expressive writing in the form of fictions. And the last type is personal writing. Personal writing. The kinds of writing that we might do mostly for our own sake. For our own sake, it is what we say that personal writing. You may write daily diaries, travel journals, as well as free writing. You may have diverse purposes to write for personal writing style, right? So, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, you have to know the types of writing as well as the scenario behind the types of writing. Then, so far now you have discussed about the elements of writing as well as the types of writing. Now let us move on to the style of writing. What are the styles of writings are available in the context of writing? Right? The first one is expository writing. First one is expository writing. Expository writing is writing that seeks to explain or else to illuminate or else to expose the facts, right? This type of writing can include essays, newspaper, magazine articles, instruction manuals, textbooks, encyclopedia articles, as well as other forms of writing, so long as they seek to explain. So expository writing is one of the styles of writing. You have to get exposed and to experience in it in order to explain or illuminate or else expose the facts. Right? And we can now move to persuasive writing. Persuasive writing. That is the one of the styles of writing. So this persuasive writing strives to prove a particular point of view. In order to prove a particular point of view, in order to prove a particular point or else a particular point of view, we use this style of writing. Right? Here, during the development of persuasive writing, you are expected to use evidence. You are expected to use evidence, anecdotes, right? You are expected to use evidence as well as anecdotes in order to support your argument. You may have some positions to be argued, right? The persuasive writer tries to convince the reader to agree with them, right? So this style of writing is used to get the readers convinced on a particular opinion, right? Persuasive and argumentative writing can be found in newspaper and magazines, opinion columns, academic essays, political speeches, and even advertisements. You may have experience of meeting a salesman at your doorstep. They may visit your home to sell their products such as broom, mop, electrical and electronic items, right? You may have some experience of talking to them. They might be well dressed, formally dressed. From the way of speaking, you may get convinced to buy the particular product. So there he uses the persuasive style of speaking to convince his clients as well as the customers. The way you have to apply in a writing context, right? So that's about the persuasive writing. And now let us move on to the descriptive writing style. We can move on to the descriptive writing style. So here, this style is to describe a person. You are expected to describe a person or to describe a place or else describe something, right? Or else an event using sensory language. Using the sensory language, you are expected to describe a person, place, thing, as well as event. So keep on this style in order to achieve or in order to gain the purpose in relation to describing person or place, things, as well as event. So in this context, this particular style of writing is deployed. So that is what we call it descriptive writing, right? And the fourth one is about narrative writing. This is about narrative writing. Narrative writing means, you may know, sometimes you might learn it, right? It's about to tell a story. The narrating style is used to tell a story, right? These stories can be used in reality or entirely fictional, but they will depict characters in actions, right? Most commonly found in fictions, you may have some practices of reading fictions, right? It can be found in fiction, as well as readers can also see narrative writing in use in biographies and anecdotes employed in other types of non-fictions too. So dear students, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand and to know the style of writing as we discussed so far about expository writing, persuasive writing, descriptive writing, and narrative writing style. Now you know the elements of writing, the types of writing, styles of writing, and now with all this comprehensive knowledge, you are expected to develop paragraphs for the academic purposes. In the development of academic writing, you have to focus your attention on the given two terminologies, such as cohesion and coherence. Here, you can understand what cohesion is. Cohesion and coherence are important aspects of the structure of academic writing. So keep on these terms, cohesion and coherence. They are the important aspects of the structure of academic writing. Whenever you happen to write for academic purposes, you have to know about the cohesion and coherence. They too have the influence. On the readability and the logical flow of the argument within a text. In the development of the paragraph, right? Their influence is a key element in it. So here you can simply understand what cohesion is. Cohesion refers to the logical flow, and the connection in a written text. You have to have, or you have to maintain a logical flow with an idea and with the rest of the ideas within the development of the text. I mean, when you refer to a paragraph, in the paragraph development, you should have a logical flow as well as connection, one with the next idea. One idea connects or links with the rest of the idea in a logical form. You know, how can you achieve this cohesion within the text? It is achieved through the use of devices. You have to know what sort of devices are used within the context of writing in order to achieve cohesion in the text. So we call it devices to link sentences together. In order to link the ideas together, you are using devices. When the devices are used in an appropriate manner, you can get the cohesion within the text, so that there is a logical flow between idea from one sentence to the next. So there should be logical flow. So keep in mind, whenever you happen to maintain a logical flow within a text, you have to use the devices to link sentences together. And now we can discuss about the coherence. Coherence refers to the unity, or else we call it the togetherness of the text. There should be unity within the text. Unity should be maintained. Togetherness of the text is expected when the development of the paragraphs and paragraphs. In the academic writing, you are expected to write number of paragraphs in order to meet the length of writing, right? As a whole, and how can you achieve this coherence? It can be achieved through the effective grouping and arrangements of ideas in a logical order. So you know, or you have the ideas, whether they are appropriately, efficiently grouped and arranged in a logical manner throughout the text. You may have a flow of ideas. All the ideas should be placed in a logical manner in order to achieve the coherence within the text. So, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, in the development of academic writing, focus your intention. You have to focus your intention on the term cohesion as well as coherence. You have to focus your attention on cohesion and coherence. During the development of the paragraph, how can you make use of the cohesion? Cohesion in paragraphs. Cohesion in paragraphs. You are expected to write paras and paras. You are expected to write paras and paras in order to meet the length to your entrance examinations. Cohesion in paragraphs can be achieved by the use of linking devices and logical connectors. So, dear students, the main thing is, in order to achieve the cohesion in paragraphs, the optimum use of linking devices and the logical connectors are very important. since you may know or not know about the logical, the linking devices or else logical connectors, I will give you some samples to you. Don't bother about it. So keep on using the logical connectors, or else we call it the linking devices within the text to achieve the cohesion in the paragraphs. Right? These devices can be like conjunctions, the use of pronouns, repetition of certain words. They can be function as linking devices or else logical connectors, right? So it is important to know that the conjunctions link on a grammatical level. Conjunctions link ideas or sentences together on a grammatical level, while linking devices link meaning. Linking devices link the meaning of the ideas expressed throughout the text. Understand? So you have to focus your intensive attention on it. As I said to you earlier, the use of logical connectors as well as the transitions, we can use the terms like logical connectors or transition or linking devices, right, to get the cohesion and the coherence in the sentences in the text. And here you could see here, you have to understand what logical connectors are, or else transition. What are transitions? They are words. Transitions or else logical connectors are just words, or else phrases. Phrase means more than one word, a group of words, right? A group of words. What is their duty? They order ideas by time, by course, or by other relations. And what is the purpose of it? The use of logical connectors is to alert the reader that the course of writing is about to change. The course of writing is about to change. In order to change the course of writing, right? They are used to alert within the text. Right? They can be useful at the beginning. They can be useful at the beginning of a paragraph. You can use the logical connectors as well as transitions at the beginning of a paragraph, or else at the end of one, or even within a sentence to signal a shift, or else the emphasis, or else the direction throughout the text. Right? So here, providing transition between the ideas in writing helps the readers understand what you are saying, right? What you are saying. So the readers, we call it the audience, can simply understand what the writer is conveying to the audience. In order to make the audience clear, the use of logical connectors as well as the transitions are significant in the development of text as well as in the academic writing. So now I can introduce you some logical connectors or else the transitions which are used in the development of paragraphs as well as sentences. Here, you could find the given words as well as phrases are additive words. These words are used as additive words. These words are used as additive words, right? Right. As I said to you all, the logical connectors, right? We call the given words as well as phrases as additive words. They are added. We used to add information in order to add more information within the text, right? To what has already been given, we can use the given additive words given here. Yes, any one of the volunteers, can you please read the given additive words?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, proceed.
Also, and, as well as, at the same time, besides, next, still, equally important, further, furthermore, in addition, likewise, moreover, to, again, and then, finally, first, in the first place, last, second, to.
Fine. Yeah. So these additive words can be used to add some more information within the text, right? So now you have to write sentences using these given additive words, right? And now we can discuss about order words as the logical connectors as well as the transitions, right? We are now to discuss about the order words. Here, the given words as well as the phrases are used to identify a specific sequence. In order to identify a specific sequence or an order of events, you can use the given order words. Yes? Can you, one of you, read the given order words?
Shall I read, sir?
Yeah, sure. Proceed.
Afterwards, at the same time, before, firstly, secondly, formerly, lastly, later, meanwhile, next, personally, subsequently, now, then, ultimately, historically, today, until, while.
Yes. Presently, subsequently, now, then, ultimately, historically, today, until why. Yes. I have given you a list of words, a list of order words. There are many. There are many. But I have given you some of the words to notify or to make you aware about the use of order words. So, dear students, take your own time, use these order words in your own sentences to identify a specific sequence or order of events. Now, let us discuss about amplification words. We call it amplification words. The given words as well as phrases are used to expand upon the previous idea, right? You might have already stated an idea previously. In order to give an expansion on the previous idea, the given amplifications words are used. Yes? Can you, one of you, read the given amplification words?
Shall I read it?
Yeah, sure.
As, for example, for instance, in fact, specifically, such as, that is, to illustrate.
Yeah. So now what you can do is, you can take your exercises, use these given amplification words in order to expand the previous ideas by developing paragraphs, right? Now you can notify about the summarizing words. So in the conclusion, right? In the conclusion, when you conclude the paragraph or when you conclude an essay, right? You need these summarizing words. They are used to identify the main line for argument, right? So in the conclusion, you have to state the main line of your arguments. In that aspects, you can use the given summarizing words. Yes, can you one of you read the given summarizing words?
Shall I read, sir?
Yeah, sure. Proceed.
In conclusion, to summarize, to sum up, in summary, briefly, in brief, in short.
Yeah, exactly. So you can use them to summarize the main idea what you had stated throughout the essay, Now look at the other transitions or else the logical connectors given here. We call it repetitive words. We call it repetitive words. They are used to repeat something with more emphasis. You might have already stated certain things, but you feel there is a need of giving some more emphasis on the particular fact, so you can use the given repetitive words in order to repeat something, right? So you can use these repetitive words. Just can you one of you read these words?
Can
Yeah,
I read?
proceed.
Repetitive words, again, in other words, that is, to repeat.
Yeah.
Qualified words, although, if, providing, unless.
Here, the qualifying words, one of the other, the category of transitions as well as logical connectors as qualifying words. We use these words in order to introduce the conditions in the development of ideas, the development of the paragraphs. You may happen to introduce conditions, right? In terms of introducing the conditions, you can use the given qualifying words as although, if, providing, unless. Right. Now, let us move on to the one of the important transitions, right, in the academic writing, to contrast and change. To contrast and change words. We call it contrast and change words. These transitions or else these logical connectors are used to introduce a contrasting argument. You may have some similar opinions, whereas the contrasting ideas, a contrasting arguments too, right? When you are in need of contrasting your opinions, the given transitions as well as the logical connectors can be deployed in the development of academic writing. Yes, I want one of the volunteers to read the given contrast and change words.
Yeah. But on the other hand, however, conversely, still, whereas, although, despite that, even though, in spite of, nevertheless, otherwise, while, notwithstanding, even though, in contrast, despite, though, yet, at the same time, even so, for all that, instead, on the contrary, regardless.
Yes. Fine. Yes. So now you have a task. You have a very prominent task to get practice with the given transitions. They are very important in the development of writing. Since we are discussing about the writing essentials, right? Under the topic of logical connectors, I have introduced you number of words as well as phrases as logical connectors as well as transitions. So dear students, learn by heart the given words as well as phrases in order to strengthen your academic writing. And now, let us discuss about the words in relation to cause and effect. Let us discuss the words in relation to cause and effect. You know, you may happen to write essays, cause and effect essays. You may happen to write the cause and effect essays even. Or else, during the development of academic writing, there where you may have intention of writing the cause and effects within the development of the text. So there where you can apply the given words in order to link ideas of causality and consequence. Can you one of you read the given words?
Shall I read, sir?
Yeah, proceed.
Accordingly, as a result, because, consequently, for this reason, since, so, then, therefore, thus.
Yes, exactly. That's how we can further study about the emphasizing words, right? We can further study about emphasizing words. Yes, this is about emphasizing words. You know, these words are used to highlight important information within the sentence, within the text. You know, when you write paragraphs, you may have some intention to highlight certain important points. So there, where you can deploy the given emphasizing words as logical connectors. Yes? Can you one of you read the given words?
Shall I read, sir?
Yeah, proceed.
More or most significantly, more or most importantly, above all, certainly, indeed, in fact, of course.
Yeah, indeed, in fact, of course. So these words can be used to highlight, right? To highlight the important facts that you use throughout the text you are writing. Okay? And now let us move on to some words. They are used in comparisons. You know, earlier, we had used some words to contrast the ideas. Sometimes you may have the situation where you have to compare one idea with the rest of the idea. So in that aspect, you have to use the given terms. You could see here. Yes, can you one of you read the words here? The words used for comparisons?
Sir, shall I read?
Yeah, proceed.
Also, in the same way, likewise, similarly.
Yeah. And again, right, we can now discuss the other one of the transition as used for concessions. You know, during the use of concessions, the given words like granted, naturally, of course, these terms can be used for notifying the concession within the text, right? And in addition, when you give examples, when you give illustrations, right? So you can give the given logical connectors, phrases, as well as the words given to you all. You can use them when giving examples or giving some more illustrations on the area you are explaining in a written context. Yes, can you one of you read the words given for example? Yes, one of the volunteers. Yeah, proceed.
After all, as an illustration, even, for example, for instance, in conclusion, indeed, in fact, in other words, in short, it is true, of course, namely, specifically, that is, to illustrate, thus, truly.
Yeah. Sometimes you might find it difficult with the meaning of certain terms, right? Don't bother about it. Refer to the dictionary and get the meaning. And with the meaning, with the semantic influence, you can deploy these given words in the development of sentences to make paragraphs and essays. Right. By the way, once you develop the essay, right? Once you develop the essay, you may happen to summarize it. You may happen to summarize it. During the summarization, during the summary, when you summarize the facts, you are given here certain words as logical connectors, as well as transitions. So you can deploy them during the development of summary. Yes, can you one of you read the given words for giving the summary?
So shall I?
Yeah, proceed here.
All in all together, as has been said, finally, in brief, in conclusion, in other words, in particular, in short, in simpler terms, in summary, on the whole, that is, therefore, to put it differently, to summarize.
That's fine. Yes. So sometimes you may have a practice of using certain word again and again. So you have to avoid and you have to prove and you have to show the audience that you are well developed in the writing competence, right? By showing your strength, by using different terms in similar in meaning can be deployed to show how you are and the strength of yours in the development of writing. And we could see the words to refer the time sequence exactly in the development of the paragraphs. To paras lead to an essay as well as article, right? There where you have to use the time sequence during that during the notification of time sequence, the given the transitions, the logic connectors can be used. Yes, can you one of you read the given transitions?
So shall I read?
Yeah, proceed.
Time sequence, after a while, afterward, again, also, as long as, at last, at length, at that time, before, besides, earlier, eventually, finally, formally, further, furthermore, in addition, in the first place, in the past, last, lately, meanwhile, moreover, next, now, presently, second, shortly, simultaneously, since, so far, soon, still, subsequently, then, thereafter, to, until now, when.
Second, shortly, simultaneously, since, so far, soon, still, subsequently, then, thereafter, to, until now, when. So these are some words as well as phrases with regard to the transitions or else the logical connectors are given to you to use when you are in need of the time sequence in the development of text. Right. So far now we have discussed logical connectors. We have discussed different logical connectors, different devices as logical connectors or transitions to fulfill the needs in the development of writing. So now let us move on to the cohesion, coherence in academic writing. Coherence in academic writing. So here, paragraphs have to be coherent. Writing of whenever you develop the paragraphs, one para with the next para, right? One para with the next para, there should be a coherent, right? Paragraphs have to be coherent. This means that the parts of your paragraph need to link to each other in logical way. So when they are linked to each other in a logical way, you can have the coherence in the academic writing. So that the reader may easily follow the development of your ideas and argument. You know, the use of coherence as well as to achieve the coherence in the academic writing is to ease the task of the audience during the reading of the stuff what we have developed or else published, right? All parts of the text have to relate. That's very important. Whatever the parts you have included in the text, they should relate to each other in the context. They have to relate to each other in the context in which it appears, and there has to be effective transition from one part or to the next. So coherence ensures that the bigger picture is clear. So dear students, you have to focus the coherence and cohesion in the development of the text, right? You have to achieve. In order to achieve, you might have learned what to use, what to include in order to achieve the coherence as well as cohesion in the development of sentences. And I can give you some remarks on the coherence, right? You have to ensure that your arguments are logically structured and arranged. The arrangement and the structure, focus your attention. Whether your arguments are logically structured, logically arranged, and you have to develop the arguments logically using paragraphs. So you have to develop the paragraphs logically, right? You have to develop the paragraph logically, right? Develop the arguments. Whatever the arguments you deploy in the paragraph, they have to be logically developed, right? You have to be sure to have a clear introduction, body, as well as conclusion. Whenever you happen to write an essay, article, as well as the compositions, right? You must have a clear introduction, as well as the body, and you should have a conclusion. Make sure every part of the text fits together. You know, they must fit together, one to each other. If not, mismatching ideas, mismatching paragraphs, they may contradict the readers too. So you have to focus your attention on it. And you have to ensure that every new paragraph is related to the previous one. That is very, very important. Some are writing paragraphs. The first para is something, then the second para is talking about something else, and the third para is talking about something else. So we could not find the matching in between the paras. So this is your supreme duty, to have, right? To have, what do you call, the relations between each paragraph. Understand? You have to plan the flow and the development of the argument before you start writing. Before you start writing, you have to plan the flow as well as the development. And you have to ensure the paragraphs are conceptually linked. One idea with the rest of the idea, they should link together in a logical manner. They should link together conceptually, right? They should be linked together, and not only the sentences. So whenever you happen to develop the paragraphs, for the academic purpose, focus your intensive care on the remarks to achieve their coherence in the sentence, in the paragraph. Right? So far now we have discussed the most important areas prescribed under writing essentials. So now, with the understanding of the lessons, right? Now you are given a learning activity. You are expected to write 2 paragraphs. You have to write 2 paragraphs on the given topics. In line with the lesson, we discussed on writing essentials. Under the topic of writing essentials, we have now discussed the very important areas. With the knowledge you have gained from this session, you are expected to write 2 paragraphs, only 2 paragraphs, right? For each topic, consisting 100 words, right? Now the topic number 1 is economic crisis, families already starving. Economic crisis. Now, in the context of Sri Lanka, you may be very familiar with the topic economic crisis, families already starving, right? So under this topic, you have to write 1 paragraph consisting 100 words. Your paragraph should have the elements what we have discussed so far on writing essentials. And you can look at the second topic, racial disparities in refugee treatment. Racial disparities in refugee treatment, right? So think of, if you find any word can be new to you, please refer to the dictionary and get to know the meaning in your first tongue, in your mother tongue, and you can start writing the paragraphs for the given 2 topics. So, dear students, now we have come to the end of the sessions. Now we have come to the end of the sessions, right? So now, under the topic of writing essentials in the module of writing skills in English, I hope you might have achieved the given learning outcome. Now you know to use the cohesion in the development of sentences, as well as you know to express the ideas with clarity and precision, right? As well as you have to, to pay attention on spelling, punctuation, grammar, as well as vocabulary. So to sum up my today's sessions, now you have learned about what writing is. Now you know what writing is, right? As well as you have now discussed about the elements of writing, right? As well as we have discussed from this topic about the types of writing, such as academic and research writing, business and professional writing, creative writing, as well as personal writing. And you know the styles of writing too: expository writing, persuasive writing, descriptive writing, and narrative writing. And you have now discussed and learned about the use of cohesion and coherence in the development of sentences as well as paragraphs. In order to achieve the coherence and the coherence in the paragraph, you have to use the logical connectors as well as transitions in the development of paragraph. So we have now discussed different transitions, logical connectors, which can be used throughout the paragraphs to make effective, efficient academic writing, right? And you have learned something more about coherence in academic writing, as well as the remarks on coherence. In order to achieve the coherence, what sort of things to be considered, as well as paid attention, were discussed so far, right? And now, dear students, you are given this learning outcome, right? So now you can take your own time and complete these tasks. So with this, I can wind up these sessions. If you have any queries, any questions, I can reply you. Do you have any more questions? Any queries? Right. Since you have no more queries, I can wind up this session with this summary of the sessions. Okay. So thank you very much. See you with the next sessions.